I actually met Vikram through my brokerage, Real Broker LLC. We have a group that we use for everybody in the company. And I noticed just a post that Vikram had put up, and it looked interesting. And I, had really been kind of looking to transition to get more listings. I love my buyers, I love all my clients, but at this point in my career, I wanted to transition to focus a little bit more on listing. And I reached out and thought maybe he could help. So, one of the things that attracted me to signing up and then actually signing on the dotted line, because salespeople are great for, saying that we're going to do something and then not. So, what basically attracted me to that was I knew that this market was going to shift. And even though I've been in the business for going on 8 years, I knew that there was going to be a change. And I knew that the old way I knew of doing sales probably wasn't going to cut it. And I also wanted to differentiate myself from my competition. So while, I do have a good sales background, I think I have a good personality, but I knew that I really needed to fine tune and really learn a new process to get to people and to have more of a service heart. And I just didn't really know how to do that with a proven method. So rather than me thinking like this is some crazy idea that I'll try, I'm like, maybe I should talk to somebody who actually does this and, has success with it. So that's a little bit why I decided to move forward. So things that I've learned, but I guess more importantly, things that I've had to unlearn through this process, which has helped me book more appointments, which has led to more listings and more buyers, is, I really had been trained in a let's get to the pain point, let's get to a problem, let's try to solve it as fast as possible, and then let's go from there. When really and it didn't match well with my personality because I truly like to help people. So what I learned in this was really being able to come from a service heart. So releasing the ego that's involved in sales, releasing the why don't they want to talk to me, when really, a big thing about what you preach, when we're in there is, they're interviewing you as much as you're talking to them. So instead of qualifying them, get to know them, their situations, their issues, because we don't need to have a client next week. We want to have clients throughout our entire career. So it's been wonderful being a part of a group that practices what they preach, that really listens to each other, that when we role play or listen to calls, which, I was afraid to have my calls up at first because I didn't want to hear myself talk. So, but I learned that there's a lot of things that I did that weren't great by listening to it, or things that I could tweak, or you listen to and you're like, man, do I want to talk to that person? Like, who is that person? But in person, you're like, oh, I'm great in person, though. I'm great in person. If I can just get in person, well, you can't talk to somebody in person if you can't connect with them just on a human level over the phone. So that's one of the major things for me that made such a difference in being able to connect with people. And I've made such great friends along the way of new clients as well, and people in my life and other connections, just from coming from that service heart and putting yourself second, your numbers second, your brokerage second, and putting the person and their needs first, because this is the rest of their life. It's not just a phone call. Was I hesitant? So, at first with anything, I had clicked on, the link. I had said I wanted more information about Vikram's program. And then, I got the immediate reply. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready, right? I just wanted information, man. I don't know. Can you send me something I can read? Which, as I now know, that was never going to work. You just like to talk to people too much. So basically, I had set up a one-on-one with Vikram just to talk, and it wasn't at an ideal time. I had actually missed the call and then had texted and said, I'm so sorry, but I'm in the car if you want to talk now, but I'm not prepared. Little did I know it wasn't even a preparation call. It was a human connection call. I didn't need to have my stats, my numbers, my credit card ready. It was really are we a good fit for each other, which was new for me, like is on any sales level. So I was attracted to that. So once I was so intrigued. So I'm like, okay, well, all right. So I did give resistance at first. I'm like, I got to think about this. And it was, no worries, no problem. Let's set up another call, which we did. And we met. And with talking with that, I'm like, you know what? There's just something about this that I really like and I really connect with. So I might have been an easier sell than some other people, but it took 2 meetings for me. 2 meetings is all it took. But I haven't looked back since, and my numbers reflect that and what I've implemented that. So again, my goal was to transition to more listings. So one of the biggest benefits that I've seen through going through Vikram's program is last year I had 11 total listings for 2023, and I wanted to increase. And now this year, in the third week of May, I am at 11 active, closed, and pending listings, and hopefully on set to double that this year. I would absolutely recommend Vikram and the Trust Rapport Influence program because it really has changed my business and it's changed my mindset on a lot of things too. The program itself is unlike anything that you've probably been through before. I'm already on track to double my listings from last year, but for me, it really has provided just a great new outlook and connection on not only my sales, but how I work with other realtors, how I connect with other people, on the street, in my family, in my home. It really has switched a lot of the ways that I not only communicate, but how I listen and the ways that I listen. I had found that before I was either distracted or I was only listening for the things that I wanted to listen for and not necessarily what someone was actually telling me. And that is a skill that you just don't wake up with. And it requires practice and it requires some hand holding. And it requires sometimes people telling you that, hey, you know what, you didn't do so great there, but you're getting better. And by doing that and doing those reps, it becomes so much more natural. And then it translates into the other areas of your life. And for me, that has been the most beneficial because I have found that I have become a more calm and a better communicator within all facets that of my life. And I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but it's true. And I think that anyone who starts to take, really works within this program, anybody who really does the work within the program, and anyone who really applies this to their business, and then it will transition into your personal life. I don't think that anyone would be disappointed or not find value in that because I certainly have. You know what? It's a lot of fun. It really is. It is work hard, play hard in the academy, and I look forward to the calls weekly because they're my friends on there too. They're my friends who don't lie to me, but they are my friends in there. I look forward to the community that we've built in Facebook, on Instagram, all the different groups. I get texts from people within the group asking questions about different things and vice versa. And so Vikram has really done a great job of fostering a community of realtors from all over the United States, Canada. We've got a few in a couple of different countries that just love communicating and talking and growing with each other. And so that has been something that was just a wonderful addition that I wasn't expecting to have.